Hi everyone. So today what we'll be discussing about data type. What is data type? This varies between compiled languages and interpreted languages. Since we are discussing on the generic topic, data type is very simple. In the previous video, we discussed about what is a variable. Now you should decide what do you want to store in that memory. So to understand better or to keep it simple as if though it is a container. Container which can store information. For example, if I consider vehicles will store two types of fuels, petrol, diesel. If I go very generic, under fuels we have three types: the solid fuel, the liquid, and it might be the gas. These are the three different types. If you go deep dive into it, in liquid we have majorly two types or three types: kerosene, petrol, diesel. Based on your vehicle type, your tank is a container which stores petrol or diesel. In most of the two-wheeler vehicles, we have only one storage container, which is petrol. The next one, what you people have to know, a container will always have a limitation. For example, if I consider a X company which gives you a moped, it can store up to 6 liters petrol. If I consider Y as a company, two-wheeler, it might give you 8 liters. So here the limitation is varied, but the content type is the same. Exactly same way, every language will have a variation in storage limitation, but what it stores is the same type of information. So in data type, if I want to store numbers like 12, 0, minus 25, 25,639, this will fall under a category which is known as integer. If I want to store represented by a keyword, int. If I want to store alphabets, this is very important because many people get confused with the variable name and the data. I'll discuss on that one also. Whatever I'm writing on the left hand side is specific to compiled languages: C, C++, Java, C Sharp. These are the four major languages which you might have heard about as compiled language. If I want to store characters, A, B, X, at symbol. If I want to store this type of information, it has to be represented in single quotes. A, character A, character at symbol, character 9. Be very clear, 9 is numeric. If I type like this, single quotes can store only one character. If I want to store this information, I need a data type character represented by the keyword char. This is what I was mentioning in the previous video about variables. These are keywords. So we are discussing only two data types for today. One is integer, the other one is character. More than one character, we don't call it as characters. It is called as string. We'll deep dive into strings when we progress with the specific language. I'll go with only two data types for now. One is integer, the other one is character. Now, if I want to declare a variable, I need to be very specific. First comes the data type, then comes the variable name. X, Y, num1, num2, result, res. All these are the variables which will store numbers. If now char data type mn. Now this is where people get confused. mn are the names given to a memory location. mn are the names given to the memory location. Name name. This is the length of the variable name. Is it following the rules? Yes. But it can store only one character. To understand better, let me draw with a diagram. I have X memory. This is a memory which stores number one at a time. If you change it, it will overwrite. Let me take an example of M as a variable. First, this is the memory. We have M as its name. But this memory, since it falls under the data type character, it can store only one. So M is a variable storing character A. M is a variable storing asterisk as a data or character. M is a variable which is storing 5 as a character. You cannot store 56 because it is more than one character. Can I store 56? We'll discuss that later. That is the ASCII number. O is a character stored in the variable M. Now, if I have a variable that is the memory, the name is name here. But what is the capacity of it? It can store only one character. Name is a variable storing character R in lowercase or uppercase. If it is uppercase, it will be uppercase. The next important point to remember in any language is they can store data, but if it is updated, for example, x is equal to 12 means it is storing 12 now. In the next statement, if I say x is equal to 10, now the value of x is overwritten as 10. Keep this in mind. Whenever you change the value, it cannot be recalled. X was having 10 in statement 1. When you go to the next statement, X is being updated or it is overwritten by 10. X is equal to 9 means it overwrites. X is equal to 9 again. What will happen in the statement 3? Statement 3, it overwrites 10 as 9. In the next statement, it will never think, oh, I have already 9, I don't want to change it. No, it will overwrite by the same value again. That is the behavior of the variable. It holds good for both int and the character. Char is the keyword. These are the names. It is not dependent on the length of this, but the memory has only limitation of storing this. On the other hand, we have scripting languages or interpreted languages. The best examples for this one is your JavaScript, AmpScript, SSJS. Any scripted language doesn't have a data type. This is very interesting. Don't we have integer? No. Don't we have character? No. It depends on what you store. How do you declare a variable in interpreted languages? You'll use a keyword called var space Exactly the same way, you'll have the name X, M, name. But how does it knows what it should store? This is flexible. If you store X with 12, means X is an integer. If you store X a variable with character E, now immediately they change themselves to data type char. That is the beauty of scripting languages. They are not binded to store information in a specific format. They can store anything, but the thing is, when you store something, that will be its data type. Other than that, everything else is the same. Let me stop this first. So only difference what we should remember is compiled languages on the left hand side gives you a specific data type, and once you declare a variable in that data type, it can store only those informations. On the other side, which is called as scripting languages like JavaScript, AMScript, SAJS, or any other scripting language like PHP, Ruby, Python, all these languages fall under scripting languages or interpreted languages. They have only one keyword variable, but the variables are flexible enough in storing the data based on what you provide. So we have discussed only two data types for today, but in the next videos, we'll try to discuss in deep based on the language what we are learning. Keep simple. On the left hand side, it is compiled languages. On the other side, we have scripting languages. Variables are still variables. Only difference is in compiled language, we have data types, means every variable is binded to a specific type of information to be stored. On the other side, it depends on what you store. It will be one or the other data type for sure, but it is decided on the fly when you people store it. Clear with this? So with this, I'll be ending this video, which is related to data type int and char. Int is numbers, and on the other side, anything which has been kept in single quotes will be a character, and we don't have characters. Plural format of characters is known as string, which we'll be discussing in the upcoming videos. Thank you.